The dog needs to go to the groomer. Your husband asks you to do a favor. One of your really good friends just sprung a request on you that you feel like you have to attend to. And no one seems to care or mind that you actually had plans for today, that you actually had something to do. Does this sound familiar? You're doing everything for everyone while your goals, your dreams, all of those things are falling by the wayside. It's all at the expense of you. In this video, I am proving you do not have to feel guilty about prioritizing yourself. You'll be able to use this method to start putting yourself first, saying no in love, and taking your time back. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is give you some reasons because, if you're like me, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a friend, and you don't mind helping your people, you want them to be successful, and sometimes it does come at the expense of the things that you want to do. So let me just help you understand why it's important for you to prioritize yourself, okay? The first reason is because it can be extremely stressful to do the things that I just mentioned. You're the one that's taking the dog to the groomer. Your husband or your spouse is the one you're trying to help them throughout the day. They're asking you questions at the expense of your work block. Your good friend has a major issue that she won't be able to move forward on if she doesn't get some help. You know that you're able to help, so you stop doing what you need to do to help that person. That's me. It happens to me just about every single week. But the reason prioritizing yourself is so important is because you have got to fill your cup first. If you do not fill your cup first, the stress, the overwhelm, the frustration, the anger, all of those things are going to hit you hard when you start over a period of time doing everything for everyone else except yourself. So when you prioritize yourself, what you're doing is you are filling your cup first, and then you'll have enough extra to give out of the overflow. So when you prioritize yourself, you're filling your cup. You're doing the things that you need to do, getting your things accomplished first, or having a plan to get them done in case there are interruptions, so that when those interruptions happen, you're able to give out of that overflow and not find that you are giving from an already depleted source. The next thing is the reason to prioritize yourself is that you will then have a plan for personal evolution. I've got a surprise to share with you a little bit later, but personal evolution is so important and it comes after you identified or mastered the art of personal leadership. We are on a constant journey. There is never a destination of success, even when we find it financially or in love or in our personal life. There is always going to be the next thing. We are always ever evolving. Okay. So when you prioritize yourself, you can create a plan for that personal evolution so that you can take advantage of opportunities when they come. You can prepare yourself for potential opportunities. You can set yourself up for the next thing. One of the things that has fascinated me about my husband is that we've been married for almost 31 years, but we've been together for almost 35. And one of the things that I've noticed about him over the course of his career is his ability to see and prepare for the next best thing in his industry. Now, he's in the IT industry, so that says a lot. He's constantly reading and growing and learning and evolving. So when these new opportunities come about, he's prepared for them. He's already done the research, knows about it, understands it for the most part, as much as there is to know at that particular point. So personal evolution is something that is going to help you continue on your success journey. But the best way to know where you need to go next and what you need to do and how you need to prepare is to prioritize yourself. So prioritizing you is so important for these two reasons alone. But I do have a third reason, and that is when you prioritize yourself, confidence grows. When you are teaching people how to treat you, when you are setting boundaries and managing expectations, it becomes less intimidating to say no, to turn down an invitation, to offer different requests that are going to be in your favor versus someone else's favor. To point someone to a different resource so that you're not the only resource. It will give you the confidence when you prioritize yourself and you're able to then verbalize your needs to people. This is going to be a game changer. So, confidence is another thing that happens and is the result of you prioritizing yourself. But why is this difficult? Why do we have such a hard time? As a mom, as a wife, as a woman, I think we are nurturers and we want to help people. We want to provide for people the things that they need. When situations arise where you can help, we're often the first to jump in to create the meals when someone is sick, to go to the hospital when someone has a baby, to offer to babysit when someone needs it, to offer to do the things. Women do that often. But I think the reason that we struggle with prioritizing ourselves is a couple of things. One, we want to help. It's in our nature to help. But also we want to be liked. We could potentially be seeking approval. But there are two really big reasons that I think we struggle with prioritizing ourselves. And one of those things is we are not aligned with our actions are not aligned with who it is we really want to be and how we want to show up in the world. So we might not have really defined that end game, like what it is we want to achieve or accomplish overall. Who do we want to be? Maybe we haven't established that. So there is no end game. So you are really just, flying around, floating around in this life, not really having a direction that you're trying to go. So you're misaligned. And that is a problem, right? You're listening to the advice of people like me without knowing really if it's going to apply to you or how it can apply to you. There's a difference between hearing information, gathering information, reading books, taking courses, going to the workshops, and actually knowing how to apply it to your life. If you don't know how to take that information and use it for your good, then it's really just information. But really, in order for you to use it for your goods, you have to know what your end game is and how you are going to get there. What needs to happen in order for you to get there. So this idea of being misaligned is a huge reason why we often struggle with prioritizing ourselves because we haven't given ourselves direction. So any road will get us there, right? We really don't have a destination. So whatever happens, happens. But that's not working, right? That's not really benefiting you because you're not able to be productive. Or when you set a goal, this has happened to so many people. Recently, I've done several events and I've heard from several women how easy it is for them to set a goal, but they'll get to the end of the year and realize that somewhere along the way they dropped the ball and it ceased to be a priority to them. They don't understand what happened. And that's because there's misalignment. That first thing hasn't been done. The identification of that end game hasn't happened. So you don't know what the game plan needs to be to get you there. So there's no alignment. And that's a huge issue and why we struggle to prioritize ourselves. We find ourselves, jumping on the bandwagon of other people, listening to their advice. We find that we are, more inclined to follow than we are to lead, all because we do not have alignment. The next thing that could be happening is you're suffering from low self-esteem. Now, don't get me wrong here. Hold on. You might very well be a confident person, but even confident people suffer with limiting beliefs, negative self-talk, and imposter syndrome. And this comes out of, in my opinion, a low self-esteem, a lack of clarity around the value that you're bringing to the table. Because if you understand, and if you are an OG, you probably are tired of hearing this and you're like, well, but you are as unique as a snowflake. No one has the exact same combination of influence, experience, perspective, and passion that you do. So there is not a way you can find competition because there's none. There's nobody that compares to you because you are as unique as a snowflake or a fingerprint. When you get this, truly get this. Yes, you will probably still have negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, and yeah, what is it? Negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome. You'll probably still have all of those things, but you're able to course correct a lot faster when you recognize just how unique and awesome you are and you start to own that awesome. It's much easier for you to come out of the holes that negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, and imposter syndrome sometimes dig in your life. So that's what I mean by self-esteem. We low self-esteem. It happens to the best of us. You are not alone. You don't have to be defensive when someone uses the term low self-esteem. Just recognize that when you understand just how amazing you are in your own right and that what you are bringing to the table is unique to you and is necessary for things to go well, then you will be able to course correct a lot faster some of those negative things that come around. You will start to see yourself in a different light. I was just telling a girlfriend today how much more confident I am in my area of expertise, my little corner of the world, and how much more confident I was in sharing it and owning it and standing very firm in it, being convicted with it and committed to it. And it's a really good feeling that you get to when you stop comparing yourself to other people and allowing that low self-esteem to take control. What I will say about the imposter syndrome, though, one little caveat that I will make here is that sometimes that feeling that you're not there yet, you're not good enough, is a good one because it means you're stretching yourself. It means that you are doing something different to get a different result and quite possibly moving in the direction of the success that you want, of the end game that you are looking to win. So, don't allow your negative self-talk and that limiting belief that you have of yourself keep you from doing the thing that could get you to the next level simply because you don't think you're good enough. You are good enough. You are as unique as a snowflake. All you need to do is determine your unique approach to it, and you need to apply your personal framework that we've talked about before, that your strengths, your limitations, your desires, and your non-negotiables. You need to frame out your actions with that, and you will show up as your best self every single time without a doubt. You won't leave anything on the table. But the best part about that framework is when you apply that uniqueness, that snowflake method, your unique influence, experience, perspective, and passion to that framework, you'll always show up as your best self. And regardless of whether or not it works out or you did a great job or whatever, you may fail and flop. But what you'll know beyond a shadow of a doubt is that you did not leave anything on the table, that you gave it your all. And it might be that it just wasn't for you. That's happened to me before. But guess what? That is a learning opportunity. Failure is your first attempt in learning. So when you fail, you're actually winning because now you know what doesn't work and you know what not to try the next time, and you can move on to the next thing without regret, without lamentation. You will be able to move on knowing that you gave it your all. So sometimes, that imposter syndrome, it may feel bad, and it is bad when you think that when you don't do the thing, when you allow that fear or that limiting belief to win. It's okay to feel like maybe you're not ready, but like I said, when you prioritize yourself and you're in alignment, right, with who you are and where you want to go, it makes it a lot easier for you to course correct that and go ahead and take the step anyway. All right, now, I felt this way before. I truly have. I do sometimes still. In recent months, I've been working on something. Ooh, guys, I'm so excited to share it with you. I've talked about it a little bit in other videos, but we are getting so close to the finish line that I want to mention it again. You know, I was able to overcome a lot of this and really start to prioritize myself, put myself first because of a framework, another framework that I created. and it's called the Executive Alignment Framework. And it's these 6 pillars that are going to help you find that alignment that allows you to create personal leadership and develop that personal evolution plan that I just talked about. And I was able to develop these 6 pillars, and I'm sharing them with you in a new mini course. I'm so excited about it. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, please go ahead and subscribe to my Substack, because that is where, here and there, is where you'll be hearing about this program when it launches. So be sure that you are in one of or both of the 2 spaces where you will be the first to go ahead and get access. This is an amazing mini course. It's very reasonably priced. It's only $27 when it comes out. You're going to love it. I can't wait to give it to you. But these 6 pillars are designed to help you understand what is necessary to achieve personal leadership and to create that personal evolution plan. All right, let's move on to the final thing that I want to share with you today. And I want you to understand what you can do to make the difference here. So we've understood what it means to prioritize yourself, why it is so important. And I've given you 2 good reasons why we struggle with it, in that idea of misalignment and the idea of low self-esteem. But now I want to tell you what makes the difference, what you can do to put those 2 things and every other thing that prevents you from prioritizing yourself to rest. Put it to bed, get it out of the way, and prevent it from causing you this struggle. And that is developing your personal operating system. Now, we've talked about the personal operating system before on this channel. It is how I live my life. It truly is how I am able to do all the things that I do. And I get so many questions about how that works. And I always tell people I have developed a personal operating system. And I've created a definition to help you with it. So let me read it for you. Your personal operating system is where your personal leadership and your personal evolution become the framework for how you show up in the world and how you do it with consistency, with confidence, and with intention and integrity. That is what your personal operating system is. If you think about your phone operating system, iOS or Android, they are how your phone functions. That's how you identify which way your phone will function. It's all the apps. It's all of the things that you use. It's how the phone is helping you, right? That's the function of the phone. Your personal operating system is helping you with that consistency, with the confidence, with the intentionality, with the integrity. And when you've created one for yourself, you are much more likely to prioritize yourself, because what you're doing is you are becoming more self-aware. You're able to regulate yourself better. You're able to set appropriate boundaries. You're able to manage expectations, those of other people and those of yourself. You're able to teach people how to treat you and then hold them accountable for what they learn. When you have created your personal operating system, you will find it much easier to be contemplative, to build your confidence, to have more control, to connect easier so that communication is more effective and efficient, to be committed to this new way of being, this consistency of confidence, integrity, and intention. And you'll have a level of conviction about yourself that you will not be able to deny, and no one else will be able to deny it. It is an amazing thing when you are able to develop your personal operating system. And doing that is going to help you prioritize yourself. It's going to help you fill your cup first and give out of the overflow. Now, listen. You do not have to feel guilty about prioritizing yourself. You just do not have to. I want you to think of it instead as showing up as your best. You've done the work. You've created the personal operating system. You have set the boundaries, managed the expectations, taught people how to treat you, and you are showing up consistently with confidence, with intention, and with integrity. So you are giving people your best. So instead of feeling like it is a selfish act, It encourages you to fill your cup and give out of abundance. By putting yourself first, saying no in love, and taking your time back, you will be giving your best at all times. That is not being selfish. That's not a negative thing. That is a very, very positive thing. It's a change in your mindset. I encourage you to make it. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If there was one thing that hit home for you, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Give this video a thumbs up. YouTube likes these types of things, and it will be helpful to me as I am trying to grow my channel. Now, don't leave. Stick around because I am queuing up another video just for you. So make sure you watch that next. Come back next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. All right, guys. Bye.